Welcome to the meeting of Full Council this evening. I'm the Mayor of Rugby, Councillor Carolyn Watson-Merritt, and we'll be chairing the meeting. Please take a seat. For members and officers' information, this meeting is being recorded rather than live streamed, and it will be uploaded to the Council's website after the elections. Before we begin the formal agenda, I will ask the Chief Executive to provide details of the evacuation procedure for those present.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everybody. We aren't expecting this evening any fire alarms, so in the event of the alarm sounding, it will be a real event, so please make your way down the main staircase. Our meeting point is just by the entrance to Caldicott Park. Thank you.
Item 1 on the agenda, apologies for absence. Are there any apologies, Chief Executive?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening we've apologies from Councillors Alanak, Douglas, Eccleston, Ellis and Mrs New.
Item 2, to approve the minutes of the ordinary meeting of Council held on the 26th of April 2023. I move that the minutes of the ordinary meeting of Council held on the 26th of April 2023 be approved and adopted. Who will second the motion?
I will, Madam Mayor.
Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. The motion is carried. Item 3, declarations of interest. Can I remind members that when they declare interests, they must also declare the general nature of that interest? Are there any declarations under non-pecuniary interests as defined by the Council's Code of Conduct for councillors? Any pecuniary interests as defined by the Council's Code of Conduct for councillors? Item C, notice under Section 106, Local Government Finance Act 1992, non-payment of community charge or council tax. Moving on, item 4, Mayor's announcements. Members have been informed that Councillor Dave Cranham sadly passed away recently. Dave represented the former Brownsover North and Curtin and Barton ward from 2006 to 2014, and then latterly the Hill Morton ward from 2016 to 2021. Dave served on a number of committees and task groups and was a regular member of our planning committee, serving as vice chair from 2010 to 2012. I would ask everyone present today to stand in a moment's silence in memory of Dave. Thank you. Please take your seats. Item B on Mayor's announcements. On Saturday, the 6th of May, we will be celebrating the coronation of King Charles III. We at Rugby Council will be represented at the coronation ceremony by the Lord Lieutenant of Warwickshire, Tim Cox. But here in Rugby, many of our neighbourhoods will be holding street parties, and Rugby Borough Council will be hosting its own off-street street party in Caldicott Park. And all of our residents are invited to join us. There's a lot of information on our website, so please steer people there. Everyone is asked to bring a picnic, blankets and chairs, and enjoy a day of free family entertainment laid on by Rugby Borough Council in its fabulous town centre. Entertainment includes a Punch and Judy show, we haven't seen one of those for a while, a balloon modeler, a juggler, stilt walkers, and my favourite, the living statue. There are additional activities, and the exhibitions are being hosted by Rugby Art Gallery and Museum, and I had a look at those today and they look tremendous. There's some wonderful interactive family things to support at the gallery, so please go along to those. To mark His Majesty the King's coronation, voluntary organisations across the country are getting together for the Big Help Out. A number of organisations will be attending a volunteer fair at the Coronation Picnic. Anyone attending will be able to find out about how they can support, and the valued Warwickshire Carver, Girl Guide Association, Rugby Sea Cadets, Royal Marine Cadets, and Crews, RNLI, and Myton Hospice will be represented. I'm sure that we'll all be looking forward to another memorable weekend as we get an extra holiday as well. And I invite all members to join in these celebrations, be part of another chapter of our fabulous borough's proud history. Item C. Last month I attended an open evening at Rugby Male Voice Choir, where they presented me with this fabulous cheque for a grand total of £683.70 for my charity, the Rugby Food Bank, and the proceeds from their Christmas concert. So I thank the choir for their kind donation and for singing me a fabulous Zulu song when I attended that Christmas celebration with them. It was Nkosi Sikelele, and it was beautifully sung, and their diction and pronunciation is fabulous. I do hope we get to hear it soon. They've been practicing a lot. £740 was recently raised by my mayoral bingo charity night, which was last Friday in Hillmorton at the Railway Club. People also donated food items for the food bank, and I was overwhelmed with the amount of generosity shown at the event, and I'm very grateful to everyone who attended, and to Daksha, my secretary, for her tremendous support and hard work while I took some annual leave just prior to this event. I recently visited Lisi Aerospace at Butler's Leap Industrial Estate. Any of you who are familiar with this fabulous company will know that they have a lot to offer our town. I went to celebrate their 8th year anniversary of achieving, and listen to this, no lost time recordable accidents. No lost time recordable accidents in 8 years. What an achievement. This was an international achievement across the American companies, the French company, the Moroccan company, so Rugby really stood out. And I think that's wonderful because they're a remarkable company, and they recruit a lot of our Rugbyans and citizens of our town. I received a tour of the factory and saw the production and process of the site, and I met quite a few robotics. Some of them have even got names. So it was a tremendous tour, and I congratulate everyone at the company on their achievement. Item 5, questions pursuant to Standing Order 10. Are there any questions, Chief Executive?
There are none, Madam Mayor.
Right, so we move on to item 6, to receive the report of Licence and Safety Committee, which is dated the 28th of February 2023. In submitting the report of Licence and Safety Committee, if members wish to raise questions or to comment, will they please indicate they wish to do so when I call the item? Councillor Poole, would you move the confirmation and adoption of item 1 of the report of Licensing and Safety Committee of the 26th of April 2023?
Madam Mayor, I so move.
Paragraph 1, adoption of Schedule 4 of the Local Government Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1982. I call on all speakers.
Madam Mayor, the report is self-explanatory, and I move it as printed.
Thank you, Councillor. I now submit for confirmation and adoption the whole of the report. Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. The motion is carried. Moving on to item 7, to receive the report of officers. The next item is to receive the report of the Chief Executive set out at item 7A of the agenda. The report concerns a proposed organisational change policy. Councillor Lowe, will you move the report?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I will move the report.
Who will second the motion?
Madam Mayor, I'll second the motion, reserve my right to speak.
I call on any speakers.
I'll move the report as written, Madam Mayor.
So we will now vote on that. Please, any in favour, please show. Those in favour? And those against, please show. The motion is carried. The next item is to receive the report of the Chief Officer, Communities and Homes, set out at item 7B of the agenda. The report concerns a proposed contract extension to the HEART shared service, or HEART shared service. Councillor Mrs Crane, will you move the report?
Madam Mayor, I so move.
Who will second the motion?
I will second the motion, Madam Mayor, and reserve my right to speak if necessary.
And call on any speakers?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This report is very self-explanatory, and I think it's a very sensible report. It's a very valuable service that provides help to people to stay in their own homes, and extending it for 5 years seems a very sensible thing to do. Thank you.
Councillor Roodhouse.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I echo those comments. I mean, this organisation, we have to recognise, has been through some challenging times as well. And it was long overdue that actually there was a revision to everything of how it worked and went forward. And I do welcome now within the report that they're going to produce an annual report feeding back exactly what they've been doing, and actually with some of the performance indicators and everything around that, which they haven't done previously. And I think that's only right and so too, because there's a lot of money which is flowing through there for disability grants and the rest of it.
Any further speakers? Thank you. Now we shall vote on that. Any in favour, please show. And those against, please show. The motion is carried. The next item is to receive the report of the Chief Officer for Growth and Investment set out at item 7C of the agenda. The report concerns an update of the Sustainable Design and Construction Supplementary Plan document from 2012. Councillor Picker, will you move the report?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I will move the report.
Who will second the motion?
I will second the motion, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Picker, would you like to debate?
Yes, as with the previous items, this is a relatively self-explanatory report detailing the revocation of the previous Sustainable Design and Construction Supplementary Planning document, which was superseded by the one passed by Council earlier this year.
Thank you. Any further speakers? Right, we shall vote for that now. Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. The motion is carried. The next item is to receive the report of the Chief Officer, Legal and Governance, set out at item 7D of the agenda. The report concerns a proposed Councillor Learning and Development Policy. Councillor Miss Robbins, will you move the report?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I so move.
Who will second the motion?
I will, Madam Mayor, and reserve my right to speak.
Thank you. Councillor Miss Robbins, would you like to?
Just very, very briefly, Madam Mayor, this is very important probably because we have had problems with learning with councillors actually going to training over the years, and I think it's important that we actually bring this forward and ensure that all councillors are well trained and understand the training that they're given. And it just does help with transparency outside of the council when they know that the councillors know what they're doing, and I think that's very important. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Any further speakers? Thank you, Councillor Sanderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, I welcome the report. I did look at the item on disability, and I thought the statement about equal opportunities was a bit bland. It may well be next year, because we don't know what the batch is going to look at in this chamber next year. There may be more people with higher levels of disability, and they may require more enhanced training than the equal opportunity run-of-the-mill training. And I do hope the portfolio holder takes that on board.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I definitely take that on board. Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. Any further speakers? On that note, we shall take a vote. Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. The motion is carried. Item 8, notices of motion pursuant to Standing Order 11. There are no motions on notice to consider, so we shall now move on to correspondence. Item 9. Is there any correspondence, Chief Executive?
There is none, Madam Mayor.
Moving on to item 10, the Common Seal. I move that the Common Seal be affixed to the various orders, deed and documents referred to in the agenda. Who will second the motion?
I will, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. The motion is carried. Item 11. Motion to exclude the public under Section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972. To consider passing the following resolution under Section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the public to be excluded from the meeting for the following items on the grounds that they involve the likely disclosure of information defined in paragraphs 1, 2, 3 and Schedule 12A of the Act. I so move. Who will second the motion?
I will, Madam Mayor.
Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. The motion is carried. That concludes the public part of the meeting. May I take this opportunity to wish all the people of Borough of Rugby a good coronation. And when we meet again, we would ask that you obviously have already seen the live stream to conclude the minutes of this particular meeting. Officers, would you please stop recording the sound, the audio? Thank you.